your roof is older than
all right.
years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof.
I was having connectivity issues, so I started a new stream, and that seemed to work.
Wood shakes and slate tile systems. Call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
Seniors, open enrollment is here. I Will Advisors is here to offer you an unbiased comparison of all.
Hey guys, good morning. Yeah, I'm going to have to. The other feed, I just couldn't connect with it.
Specialize in educating Medicare beneficiaries on every available option.
Oh well, it happens.
You make the right choice for your needs. Call us directly at 954-753-8080.
It happens. I was still on the air though.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeart.
Tell everybody in that other stream, I can't delete it quite yet, that we're over here. All right, hey guys, hey you YouTube watchers, I have the YouTube up and running, live streaming now. We're having some connectivity issues, but we are back on YouTube. Welcome. If you're just joining us, waking up to a great red wave has begun. You know, this Youngkin victory is so important for so many reasons. One, it shows that even in a short period of time, the people of this country have Trump, they're missing Trump, they're missing competence, and they are rejecting the entire Democrat Party. There is not one aspect of an average American's life that is better today than it was months ago when Biden came in. Everything's worse. Here we are coming up to Thanksgiving. The price of everything is up. The price of turkey is up. The price of all the fixins is up too. And when you're uber rich, like Biden and some of these other people, you say, $20, $30 more, what's the big deal? It is a big deal to working people who many were out of work for months or a year, who have already been struggling. $20, $30 is a lot of money, I think, to most Americans, certainly many Americans. Plus, they work hard for it. They don't have crazy deals like these politicians do, where money's just handed to them because of their corruption. You know, and you listen to how Democrats are operating right now. President Trump, during a global pandemic with shutdowns worldwide, we didn't have supply chain issues. The only problem we had for a while was a toilet paper shortage because there was a TP panic, and there were only a couple of facilities that made toilet paper, and there's so many different varieties of it they couldn't keep up. But even that was back soon enough. Think about that. A global pandemic with global shutdowns, the supply chain kept going. That's President Trump. And what do we get from this guy? Well, you got to get used to less. People are pretty fed up. This critical race theory that the Democrats are trying to distance themselves from now is a big turning point. And I was talking in the first segment about how, as I was going through the mainstream media and their reaction to the beginning of the red wave with the victory of Youngkin last night, now they're telling us that critical race theory doesn't exist, that it's a myth, it's not being taught in public school. Well, if it's not being taught in a public school in Virginia, it's because the parents stood up against it. You know, what that Loudoun County School Board has been such a turning point in this country because people saw parents being beaten at the orders of local corrupt public officials on the school board, having cops arrest and beat people. What they did to the father of the girl that was raped, they beat him bloodied. His pants were hanging down, his shirt was ripped, his lip was bloodied, and he had blood on his face. Why? Because he was trying to bring to the attention of the school board that his daughter had been raped in one of their schools, and the school covered it up, and people saw that. And what they saw with the Loudoun County School Board was a tone that they feel from Washington about how the American people feel about them. President Trump said once that they don't hate me, they hate you. They do, they hate you. The political establishment of both parties, but especially the Democrats, and the Democrat leadership have this tone about them. They think they know what is best. You've heard conservatives talk about this since the days of Ronald Reagan before he was governor doing the speech tour. They believe that they know what is best. They went to Harvard. They went to Oxford, Princeton, Columbia School of Journalism, wherever they went. They know better than you. You didn't even go to college. What do you know? You hear it in the tones of the mainstream media on election nights when they go through the breakdowns. They'll start this today, unless they just decide to forget there was an election in Virginia. But anytime there's an election, they like to go through, well, college-educated voters voted for the Democrat. Like college-educated people are better than non-college-educated people. Some of the smartest people I have met in my life don't even have a high school diploma. Okay? But that's the snobbery that they have. So this wasn't just the beginning of the red wave. This was a rejection of wokeism. It was a rejection of this racist policy of critical race theory. It was a rejection of everything the left stand for. Did you see Biden fly back home, defeated, wearing a mask to hide the shame as he's coming down at night down the stairs? Did he not look like a defeated man? Believe it or not, this has scared the living daylights out of them. I've talked about this a lot in the last couple weeks with Virginia. Virginia is mostly a red state, even before last night. But Northern Virginia, where all the government workers from D.C. live, tends to be blue. And there's a connection between Virginia and the Washington elite who think that this is their country, we just live in it. Right? The ruling elite, the Beltway class, or whatever they call themselves, they believe that they control Virginia because they all live in Northern Virginia. So this wasn't just a victory in Virginia. It wasn't just the beginning of the red wave of the midterm elections. It's that, certainly. But it's a rejection of the political establishment of the Democrats and Republicans and the bureaucracy in Washington, D.C. I expect to see Youngkin campaigning with President Trump in these midterms. I truly do. And I'm excited about it. I'm very excited about it. And I hope you are too. Don't let them get you sidetracked on other things. This was a massive victory, a victory that we needed. I think we needed a morale boost. We needed a boost. We needed a sign that we can do it. And, I don't think these Democrats have the sense to say, you know what, we got to change our tune here. We got to change our agenda because they're arrogant. It's just like CNN. Rush Limbaugh used to talk about this. The liberal mainstream media, this is what Rush used to talk about. I'm sure you heard him say this more than I did. I heard him say it once and I never forgot it. I've heard him say it more than once, but the first time he said it, it struck a chord with me. Rush Limbaugh said, he was talking about CNN at the time, but he said the liberal mainstream media believe they are right. It is the only business that will not change what they are doing to satisfy their customer, which are their viewers, because they know what is right. You don't. And if you as a viewer don't get it, they're going to keep doing it because they're smarter than you. They know better than you. That's the Democrat mindset. So one of the reasons that this is the beginning of the red wave in the midterm elections, which will be huge Trump victories, huge MAGA victories, but the Democrats are going to quadruple down on what they've been doing in Virginia nationwide because they know what's best. You know, a lot of these Democrat liberal activists in the media, they're true believers and completely out of touch with reality. All right. YouTube is up and running, people. And we'll take your calls at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's K-A-N-E and the number 1. 888-465-2631. Let's take a call or two before we break. Good morning, you're on the radio. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Good morning.
It's too noisy.
All right, take another call. I'm in a restaurant, it's too noisy. You know, in the United Kingdom, trolls, pathetic. Did you go to comedy school to learn to write like that? You know, in the United Kingdom, they're talking about legislation to make it illegal to troll people on the internet. Did you know that? That was that caller. That was a wonderful call. That call I just took may be the best call we get on the program today. Because you know what that was? That was a Democrat defeated. I'm a loser, been a loser party, we got rejected, I can't deal with it, so I'm going to troll and be a crank caller at the age of 70. What a loser. Remember what President Trump said? Woke, it means you're a loser. He said some other things too, but we're on the radio. Listen, let me take the break. Now, you know, Dr. Janae Lamaski, my therapist, Steve Kane's therapist, she's on the radio Saturdays on this radio station at 11 a.m., and she takes calls. So if you are a liberal who is in depressed mode right now over your huge loss, you call Dr. Janae Lamaski on the air Saturday between 11 and 12. She'll give you free therapy on the air. Okay? 11 to 12, our radio stations. Dr. Lamaski with Al Knight. Oh, man. Let's take our bottom of the hour break. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. Florida's longest running radio show. On the radio since 1977. We'll be right back.
If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer?
I couldn't get connected with that first stream, and I just can't delete that stream right now. That's why I made it private. So if anybody's over there, tell them to come over here. I'll delete that stream later. I just can't do it right now. Steve Kane Show. Oh, man. Good morning, everyone. Like the video, if you don't mind. That helps a lot. And is everybody subscribed and has that notification bell clicked? If you don't, please do that. This is the Manga Show of Record. Did you guys check out my interview with Mark Meadows yesterday?
They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at 954-597.
If you haven't, check it out.
Or online at thesoulauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Seniors, open enrollment is here. I Will Advisors is here to offer you an unbiased comparison of all your Medicare health insurance options. I Will Advisors specialize in educating Medicare beneficiaries on every available option to ensure you make the right choice for your needs. Call us directly at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel.
Well, thank you, Paul. Thank you so much.
Your assets at the time of your passing. Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group.
I like how at the end he told me he was going to mention me to President Trump. Steve Kane Show. Hey, hold on.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
Hey, and those of you that are Medicare recipients, seniors, Medicare recipients, this is the one time a year, open enrollment, that you can make changes to your policy. Make sure you're not paying too much. Get a supplement if you need it. All those things that go with Medicare. Debbie from I Will Advisors, she handles Steve's Medicare. Steve and I have known her for many, many years. And those of you that are longtime listeners, she was the daughter-in-law of Adam Klatzoff. Remember Adam Klatzoff, Captain Truth? And now she's got her own company that she's just done miraculous work with, I Will Advisors. No matter where you are in the state of Florida, Debbie at I Will Advisors can help you with your Medicare. So no matter where you are in the state of Florida, call Debbie at I Will Advisors and have her review your Medicare policy. It costs you nothing. If you're paying for a supplement, make sure you're not paying too much or that you even need it. Make sure your doctors, your specialists, your prescriptions, your neighborhood pharmacy, and everything is covered next year on your policy. 954-753-8080. Again, no matter where you are in the state of Florida, Debbie at I Will Advisors can help you with your Medicare during this open enrollment period. 954-753-8080. If you're an overnight listener, you can call in the middle of the night, leave a message, they'll call you back during business hours. 954-753-8080. All right, let's go to the phones. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, good morning. This is Maria from Florida.
Hey, Maria.
How you doing this morning?
Oh, man, the red wave's begun, so I'm doing great. I'm surfing on the red wave.
Oh, yeah, I am too. I am happy. God knows I am happy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was watching it last night, and I was trying to figure out, and I was just, I just flew because I watched that with Tucker Carlson. Oh, my God, that kind of freaked me out. It really had me like, what the world is going on?
Oh, you're talking about Patriot Purge. Have you seen part 1 and 2? Wesley,
I've seen part 1.
Thank you.
Get to part.
Well, let me tell you, I told my wife and I watched part 2. By the way, the Patriot Purge Tucker Carlson special is free on Tucker Carlson's website. I found that out yesterday. It's free. You don't need the Fox app for that. I watched part 2, which was so frightening. I told my wife after, I wish I didn't know this. It's so scary what they're doing. I mean, my wife was almost in tears at what they're doing to our country. Part 2 of Patriot Purge. I'm afraid to watch part 3 today.
Yeah, I've seen part 1. I watched all of it yesterday, and I was like, son, I was like, oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. And it was so sad that these people, the Patriot, the Trump supporters, then
Wesley says, good morning, Brian. Let's hope New Jersey's race is won by the GOP. Yeah, I hope so too.
And I was like, you know what, that kind of makes me rethink of how I do on my social media page. When I go on my social media page, and be careful what I say.
Well, sadly, we're listen. The red wave has begun, but we're living. This is tough for me to say. We're in Biden's America right now, and this country is not as free as it was 1 year ago. And like it or not, Big Brother's watching, and Patriot Purge. Just that part 2 made me physically ill. But I'll tell you this: last night, man, is that an awesome? I mean, we just turned a blue state red. We turned a Democrat state Republican. In that state, Joe Biden, Kamala, and Obama campaigned in person, and we pulled it through. President Trump just did a telephone call the other day, and boom, he pulled it through.
I know, and even Chris Waters, I was listening to Fox News, and I think they out of touch. They so out of touch until it's ridiculous. And I just got frustrated. I watched Newsmat and Newsmat and Right Side Broadcasting, and they was the first 2 out there that pronounced it.
Well, yeah, I have some friends at Right Side Broadcasting, and they are everyone over there. They are good people, I tell you. I know a few people over there, especially Mike Nifison. I'm friendly with. But they're good people, and Newsmax had great coverage last night for the election. My wife thinks Heather Childress looks like she could be Morgan Fairchild's sister. I think I'll agree with that one. She does look like Morgan Fairchild a little bit.
Yeah, but it was really terrific. too, and I felt the sleep, and I knew he had won, but it's just that the certain news station with their bias, like Trump said, the fake news, they didn't want to show that he won, and I knew he won, but the biggest one, I think, is overall that when I woke up and I noticed that he did win, I was joyful. I am so joyful today because we needed this.
Well, you know, President Trump on Saturday night, the great Judge Janine interviewed President Trump, and he predicted a Youngkin victory. He says, if my base turns out in Virginia, Youngkin will win. And President Trump released a statement after the victory, and it happened. President Trump took, think about this, we defeated President Obama, Biden, Kamala. Did the Clintons go there and campaign for him? I don't know. I would think. No, they didn't. I didn't see the Clintons. But we defeated the last two Democrat presidents, the vice president, a former governor of Virginia, and the entire Democrat Party establishment in Virginia. That's big. That's big.
But I've seen it where Hillary Clinton did do like a telephone interview in the church. In the church she did. And
in a church? Isn't that illegal? Campaigning in a church? Isn't that a crime?
Yeah.
A Christian church? Did the roof cave in?
Church. It's really but the pastor didn't like it. He said, "Hey," he said he wasn't there. It was his I guess was the deacon allowed her to do that, but it was in one of those I don't know. She said she's a Catholic. I was like,
it was a Catholic church? Who said she? Hillary says she's Catholic?
Yeah, that's what she said.
Huh. I'm Catholic. She doesn't seem like me. Yeah.
So I was really bugging about that. The pastor, he didn't like it. He said that don't you ever allow that to take place in God's house like that. That's not.
Well, you know, I'll tell you. There's a I've not been to Mass. I've not been to church since COVID. My wife and I still have not gone back to church. But prior to all of that, there's always Democrats at the Catholic Church. You got a lot of Hispanics, and a lot of them are may not even be legal. And I see Biden stickers in the park. I don't get into politics at church. I don't really think it's appropriate. That's not what church is about. That's not what church is about. But one day, about 4 or 5, well, it must have been longer than that. It had to be longer than that because it's been a long time. I can't believe, I converted to Catholicism. I didn't realize how long ago it was. During the Obamacare Hobby Lobby dispute, they had a priest come to Mass from Priests for Life, and he took over and did the speaking at the church that day instead of our regular priest, and he talked about abortion up there and during Mass, and I couldn't believe how many people stood up and walked out, mostly women, right out of Mass. I've never seen that. While the priest is, you're not supposed to leave until the priest leaves. When you're in Mass, and they stood up in a protest. I loved it. We had him on the show the next Monday or Tuesday. I talked to him. We had him on the show as a guest right after that. But Hillary Clinton. Well, they lost for a lot of reasons in Virginia, but I think the main reason was this critical race. You're a black woman. Are you a native Floridian?
I don't agree with that. Like I said before, that I don't like the fact that you're teaching children about race. These children in the new generation, they don't know anything what happened back in those days.
Now let me ask you, how old are you? Yeah, you.
A heavy Democrat.
Well, Broward County. I grew up. Where'd you go to high school?
Plantation High.
Oh my gosh, you went to Plantation High School or South Plantation? Oh my God, my wife graduated from South Plantation. You went in, and what year did you graduate?
This was in I graduated like a year later because I had like my
Well, you probably went to high school. You probably went to high school with my wife, even though she's a couple years older than you. You were behind her, but and you and I were probably at some football games together because my high school used to play your high school. I remember in the 80s, I was telling my daughter about this last night. My first job that was like on the books, other than like mowing lawns and stuff, I was a bag boy at Publix on Davie Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale. And this was like 1986 and 86, 87, something around there. And this, so we're talking like 35 years ago. And I remember when black people would come in to go shopping, the managers would follow them around. And I remember one guy, he was the manager of the meat department. I saw him peeking around the corner of the aisle watching this black family shop. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. I've never seen anything like this. And if you live in Florida back in those days and before, there used to be real racism. It's gone now. Racism isn't not getting your way. They don't get their way. They think they've been racially discriminated against. Racial discrimination, I've seen worse than that, and I know you probably have too, but those days are gone. My daughter's black. She's 22 years old. The only negative racial things we've encountered are from black people who don't like interracial families, okay? And Steve Kane, he has 3 kids who are black, 2 sons and a daughter. He'll tell you the same thing. My daughter, myself, we've never experienced anything negative from what it's a myth. On The View yesterday with Whoopi Goldberg, they said that lynching happens still today in America. Where's that happening? Where the hell is that happening? I want to know so we can stop it.
Yeah, but it's the black people. I'm gonna tell you the truth. It's the black people liberals, the black liberals. They are doing it. They are pushing this really hard to make everybody think. Even if you're black and you're a Republican, they're going to call you a, what do they call it?
Uncle Tom, Oreo. I know all the words. Yeah, well, this will be a test because critical race theory in Virginia, because of what happened at the school board, was a big issue there. This critical race theory cost them Virginia more than anything else. And I'm curious to see if they double down on critical race theory and say, oh, those are just a bunch of racist rednecks in Virginia, or do they try to distance themselves? I don't think they have the sense to get away from it. I think that they're so arrogant and so angry and racist, I think they'll continue to push critical race theory, which cost them Virginia. Well, that's good. We want them to push it.
Yeah, they're not gonna stop. They even, I was listening to a lady, and she said they changed the textbooks now to make sure it's being taught in schools and it's spreading all over everywhere. Because I think yesterday, Ron DeSantis had to file a lawsuit. I don't know if it was a lawsuit or something, but he's doing like a special section to stop all the race theory started going on certain counties in Broward County.
I was talking to someone in my family is a science teacher, and they got new textbooks this year, and it has new genders in it that, instead of just boy and girl, there's other genders in the books. It's in the schools, yeah. One of the reasons they won't walk away from it is because it's big money for the textbook companies. The textbook companies and the Attorney General, his family they own a company that makes the critical race theory textbooks and lesson plans. There's big money in it. So the Democrat establishment, I think they're going to quadruple down on critical race theory and claim that Virginia's for lovers and racist. And it's going to embolden them to push. And I hope they do, because that critical race theory will cost them seats that they may have maintained if they didn't get involved in this, because it's going to be critical race theory, and Virginia is a test of it. Critical race theory is going to be like abortion used to be in the 80s or 90s. Every candidate is going to have to come out and, do you support critical race theory, yes or no? And the Democrats can't say no.
Yeah. And and I was listening to CNN last night, and they already started to call in Glenn Youngkin a white supremacist, and I was like,
oh, really?
Here you go again.
The outgoing governor's the one in the Klansman outfit, the outgoing Democrat governor. I've only seen him wearing the fleece vest. I've heard them say, they say a red fleece vest is the new Klan robe, is what they're saying. That's pretty sad. You know, it really, you know, what they're doing with this critical race theory, you know, you're too young to have really experienced it. You and I are at the same age. But your parents and grandparents, they saw real discrimination. You know, the beach in Fort Lauderdale, blacks were not allowed on it until, you know, I mean, you know, it was whites only for a long time when Democrats. And what they're doing by claiming everything is racist today is they're really discounting all those victims of the Jim Crow era in this country and the struggles and everything, because this is not what they were fighting for. But let's hope they stick with it, because it's going to cost them seat after seat after seat. Well, Maria, thanks for your call. All right, take care. All right, take care. Yeah, she went to high school with my daughter, or with my wife, I should say. Isn't that something? All right, we'll be right back. It's 48 minutes after the hour. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. That's right, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Stay tuned. Back right after this.
You think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to any lab test now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to any lab test now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to any lab test now of Coral Springs. They give great rates for Steve Kane listeners, and tell them we sent you.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University.
I just deleted that feed that didn't work, so
call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza, where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
This is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Give me a call today to save up to 50% on your insulation and radiant barrier, and up to 35% on your electric bill. That's 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
Mary, $10 super chat. Everyone thank Mary. Thank you. All right, welcome back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. You know, Scott at Cut My Kilowatts, with his radiant barrier, will lower your electric bill big time. That's year-round. He covers the entire state of Florida. No matter where you are in Florida, Scott from Cut My Kilowatts, give him a call. He can help you. And right now, he is offering, we're going to have him on the show soon to talk about this, but right now, Scott from Cut My Kilowatts is offering huge discounts on Radiant Barrier because he's saving big money himself. Because the weather is now cooler than it was a few weeks back, his crew can work in the attics longer and get the job done faster. You know, during the summer, that attic can get 135 degrees or even more. I've gone up in my attic in the summer, and I'm up there for a moment. I come down, it looks like I got in the shower fully clothed. But now, when it's a little cooler, they can get up there, boom, get the job done faster. It saves Scott a lot of money on labor cost, and he passes that savings on to you. And once that radiant barrier is installed in your attic, it is there forever, saving you money on your electric bill year-round, even during the winter months here in Florida, because it gets pretty hot. We have our AC on all but maybe one day a year in my household. Here's his number. Again, no matter where you are in Florida, Scott from Cut My Kilowatts can help you lower your electric bill with Radiant Barrier. And this number rings directly to Scott's cell phone. 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500. Make sure you tell him you heard about him on the Steve Kane Radio Show. So we're celebrating the victory of Glenn Youngkin. The red wave has begun. I want to play some audio sound bites. Oh man, they're all so good. They're all so good. Which one should I start with? Which one? Oh yes. Nicole Wallace. I can't stand Nicole Wallace. You know, Nicole Wallace, she's on MSNBC. She's supposedly a Republican. She worked for John McCain, and she worked for John McCain back during the 2008 campaign, and I bet you, I said it that way on purpose, I bet you that she was the source for all that trash in the media about Sarah Palin. I bet you she was. And you hear the way she talks. She said, Nicole Wallace said, when Trump was in the White House, that she's a Republican in exile and that she would return to the Republican Party when Trump was no longer leading it. Well, she obviously she's basically a Democrat. I mean, she's less than a Republican in name only. But this is Nicole Wallace. To me, sounds depressed last night with the victory of President Trump, with Youngkin's victory in Virginia. Listen to this. Nicole Wallace, MSNBC, sounds depressed.
I think we know the answer to some of this. I watched Glenn Youngkin's interviews on Fox News, and he did nothing that he did not, I mean, he worshipped at the altar of Donald Trump on Fox News. He flew an insurrection flag at his rallies.
Okay, hold on. This is Nicole Wallace, he flew an insurrection flag at his rallies. What she's talking about are Trump flags. MSNBC, now again, there was no insurrection. No one has been charged with insurrection. Merrick Garland, the Attorney General, he hasn't charged anyone with insurrection. You cannot have an insurrection without insurrectionists. But the Trump flag, when she says he flew an insurrectionist flag, she means a Trump flag.
I think
Jeff
we know
Remain
the
is not
answer
blocked.
to some of this. I
I didn't block
watched Glenn
Jeff
Youngkin's
Remain.
interviews on Fox News, and he did nothing.
Not blocked by me.
He did not. I mean, he worshipped at the altar of Donald Trump on Fox News. He flew an insurrection flag at his rallies. He simply didn't. He played dumb about a
He may
Zoom
have gotten
rally.
in trouble by YouTube.
He did
I have
not
not blocked
really
him.
put much distance between himself and Donald Trump on the big lie or the deadly insurrection.
The deadly insurrection, is she talking about our Air Force veteran who was murdered, Ashley Babbitt?
Between himself and Donald Trump on the big lie or the deadly insurrection in which police officers were maimed by flagpoles. So I think that the real ominous thing is that critical race theory, which isn't real.
See, this is their new thing. And you hear this on CNN and MSNBC and elsewhere, the liberal. All of a sudden, critical race theory is not real. This is the new spin last night. In their panic to cover for their defeat, they immediately jumped on this business. And you see this with all the liberals. Critical race theory doesn't exist. It's not real.
So I think that the real ominous thing is that critical race theory, which isn't real, turned the suburbs 15 points to the Trump insurrection-endorsed Republican. What do Democrats do about that?
It isn't real, people. Really? If it's not real, why does the Attorney General's son-in-law and his daughter, why did they found a company that makes textbooks and lesson plans for the public schools about critical race theory if it's not real? Can you answer that one, Nicole Wallace? And again, she's not the only one. If I had a staff like Rush, I'd put together a montage. But I don't have a staff. Steve and I are a two-man band. And I don't have time for montages. By the time I put the montage together, it'll be a new news cycle. But I heard this all over the place. It's not real. It doesn't exist. Critical race theory is not being taught. Now, what we're going to find, even though the media are, lying to us, it's so interesting. The news, they're not the news. They're the anti-news. The news, what we refer to as news, is in the business of covering up the news. I mean, this is textbook propaganda. Textbook propaganda. It's not real. It's not real. But here's the problem they have. Okay? The mainstream Democrat Party establishment, which includes, like Biden and members of the liberal media, they cannot control their activists. Not just the squad, but they're activists everywhere else. And they can tell us that critical race theory is not real and it doesn't exist on MSNBC and CNN until, doomsday. Their activists are going to be talking about it all the time because it is important to them, and they cannot control their very vocal activists, especially since a lot of them have huge followings on social media and continue to go on and on about such things. Oh man, this is so wonderful. Isn't this a great day? Isn't this a wonderful, wonderful day? I have woken up feeling so energized, so refreshed. We needed a win, and not just a little win, and like a house seat, which is important. Don't misunderstand me. This was a big win. Not only did we turn a blue state red, defeated the last two Democrat presidents, Obama and Biden, the sitting vice president Kamala, but we defeated the entire Democrat National Party apparatus there. This is bigger than when Scott Walker defeated the Obama campaign in his recall. This is amazing what has happened here. And it's something that we should enjoy. We don't need any negative talk here today because there's nothing negative to say. Our number toll-free 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. I want to tell you guys about Friendly Tire in Margate. They have the unbeatable low prices on new and used tires. Used tires start at just $30 for most sizes. I've bought new and used tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, and those tires are really good. He has thousands of used tires in stock at Friendly Tire in Margate. His new tire prices cannot be beaten. They just can't be beaten. The prices we give when you hear us talk about Friendly Tire in Margate in the commercials, that price comparison I do is what Steve and I paid for our tires and our family members' tires compared to the lowest price that we could find at the big name places around town. Because at Friendly Tire, he doesn't charge you to mount the tire, balance the tire, or even dispose of your old tire. The prices you hear in our commercials for Friendly Tire in Margate are out the door and on the road. He does tire repairs too, starting at just $7. That's right. If you have run flats, you will be blown away at how low run flat prices are at Friendly Tire in Margate. Give Friendly Mike a call. On new or used tires, he will give you a quote right over the phone. He's also open on Saturdays. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Friendly Tire in Margate. And when you call and stop in, make sure you tell him you heard about him on the radio. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll be back with your calls and much more after this. Don't go anywhere.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Open enrollment is here. I Will Advisors is here to offer you an unbiased comparison of all your Medicare health insurance options. I Will Advisors specialize in educating Medicare beneficiaries on every available option to ensure you make the right choice for your needs. Call us directly at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Traveling and need a COVID test? Maybe you need a COVID test for work or school. Stop by Any Lab Test Now of Boca or Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They offer all the COVID testing
Steve Kane Show.
At the lowest prices, including the
antibody
test. Results in 15 minutes. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is located in the Sandalfoot Plaza, where Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsborough on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Call 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. Call 954-906-5983. Make sure to tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
This is Brian Craig. I've been telling you about the great deals and incredible customer service at Friendly Tire on both new tires and used tires. One of our listeners, Antonio, went to Friendly Tire and called to share with us his experience of buying used tires at Friendly Tire in Margate.
Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hey, yes, Brian. I want to give you a quick testimony about the tire place up in Margate, Friendly
appreciate you for that, man. And Mike's a great guy, man.
Well, what's your name?
Antonio.
All right, Antonio. Hey, I'm glad we can save you and your family lots of money on tires at Friendly Tire.
Oh, no doubt, man. Thanks so much, man.
Do what Antonio did. Stop into Friendly Tire and find incredible deals on both new and used tires. Give Friendly Mike a call right now.
Oh, Joe Williams. I'm going to use your comment here in the My Pillow commercial.
954-9445, and Mike will give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free.
I'm going to do the My Pillow commercial in the next break, and I'm going to use your comment. I took a screenshot from the chat. All right. Hour number 2 has begun. It's 3 minutes after 7 o'clock in the morning. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977, and of course we're celebrating the beginning of the red wave of victory that began with a landslide victory for the President Trump-endorsed Republican Glenn Youngkin, the governor-elect of Virginia. When does he take the oath? Special election and all that. When does he actually become the governor and replace that Northam in the Klansman outfit? Oh, my goodness. 1-888-GO-KANE-1 is the number as we celebrate. You're on the radio. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It's Ben calling from Pompano. How are you?
Ben in Pompano. I'm doing great, man.
Yeah, me too. I just want to bring your attention to not only was, what's going on in New Jersey is tight, what happened in Virginia and Ohio and Texas, but also Seattle. Even Seattle, where I came from, they have the pro-police mayor looks like he's going to pull ahead, and a former Republican lieutenant general is going to take attorney general. So
wow. You're talking about the state of Washington, Seattle, Washington?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
There's a little bit. I mean, they're never going to go red, but that's as red as they can get over there, and that's a big move because they were huge. The other woman is a huge abolitionist. She wants to, for the attorney general.
What do you mean as an abolitionist? The slaves are freed. What's an abolitionist fighting for today?
Getting rid of the jail system and only crimes for like murder and letting.
Oh, so anarchy. That's Haiti. She wants to turn us into Haiti.
Yeah, the Summer of Love, 2020. They want to go back to the Chaz Chop Zone. But, I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Even in Seattle, people are sick of the progressive narrative that's coming.
Well, listen, this thing, okay, the government has a list of things that we expect of them, and one of them is law and order. And when they go against the police and are dissolving our police departments and using mandates to get good conservative cops out of the ranks, that scares people. People, I've been in some hairy situations in scary neighborhoods throughout this country and in other countries, and when I'm nervous, what do? Is I find a cop. And people are scared with less police on the street. This anti-police movement and this critical race theory, that's the build the wall of 2022. It's a great issue for us. They're helping us more than they realize.
And same with Minneapolis. They voted overwhelmingly against a measure on the ballot for defund the police. So across the board, across the country, it's been a real victory in more ways than one.
That's great.
Yeah, I know Youngkin was a big one, but the smaller victories too.
The smaller victories are important, but Virginia is the Commonwealth of, there was a debate on whether states were going to be called states and commonwealths, so some of them call themselves commonwealths and not states. But Virginia is a satellite of Washington D.C. And that is it's the most important because one, it's a big red area on the map. It's a flipping of the state. It's defeating the past 2 Democrat presidents, Biden and Obama. Also a confidant of the Clintons and McAuliffe. but it's also a rejection of the Washington Democrat Party establishment. And that is something that everyone can see, feel, and experience. And that's why we got to focus on that one, because perception, that was a massive victory. But these other smaller ones around the country are also, see, the Democrats have lost touch with the pulse of the American people. And that's deadly for politicians.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, you know, the narrative, the putting out fires, what that's going to look like coming from them over the next few days. But right now, you know, it's a real good day.
It is. Hey, thanks for the call. Take care. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Morning, Conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
Man,
Wayne, $10 super chat. Thank you. Everyone, thank Wayne. Jacqueline Wilson, $20 super sticker with a little celebration hoot. Everyone, thank Jacqueline. Thank you, Jacqueline.
It's going to be a win, and now it's a big loss. And
Wesley, $5 super chat. Everyone, thank Wesley. Thank you. Here's another win for us. Minnesota voters rejected a ballot issue to abolish the police. Yes.
Their party that's destroying the country. So, great day.
Well, really, are the Democrats destroying the country, or are they accidentally saving it by ushering in the red wave of Donald Trump victories in the midterms and then his victory in 2024? If you look at it that way, the Democrats are saving the country by making so much more of the country conservative, MAGA.
You know, it's certainly that's the way it's going to be, for sure. I mean, people are sick of it. Everybody I talk to, I have a couple of liberals who want the liberal way, but the majority are all in favor of exactly what happened last night.
Mm-hmm.
What bothers me is New Jersey. It's such a tight race. You would think that people will wake up over there and say, "Get rid of that bum too."
Well, I don't know. I was telling Steve yesterday I wasn't following New Jersey. You know, we don't have a victor yet in New Jersey. I'm not going to focus on New Jersey because we've just. By the way, we've got a black female Republican lieutenant governor in Virginia too. So we've got so much excitement in Virginia. How can I, get into these doom and gloomers like, oh, what about Jersey? Give me a break.
We have these Nicole Walls, whatever her name is.
Oh, I love it. Let me tell you, people. I know I'm a Newsmax guy. Okay, and I thought they had a great team last night with Dick Morris, Heather Childress, and others doing election analysis. I thought they were spectacular. But today is a good day to check out, just from time to time, CNN and MSNBC, because they are physically ill and are depressed and are in shock. It's fun to watch.
Oh yeah, great day. Let them dwell in their stupidity.
Oh, yeah. Dwell in their liberalism. All right, Conservative Doug, take care, man. Thanks for the call. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Pompano. Can you hear me now?
I can hear. Oh, man, 2 calls in We're hot in Pompano today. What's up, man? Okay. Well, what's on? You were drunk.
Angry. All of a sudden, it got noisy at the Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, Dunkin' Donuts. Okay.
First of all, I want to say you're right. I feel so much less pessimistic and depressed over this whole mess with the bastard Democrats. But here's my question. Senator Manchin always caves in. Could this election maybe jolt him not to cave in like he always does?
Well, I think they're going to get Manchin, and I'll tell you why. I've seen him lately. They got something on him. Listen, Manchin is an ugly man, right? He's a strange-looking man. And a guy who's a United States senator, who's ugly, and is hanging out on yachts. Somebody like that is easy to compromise, right? They just need some girl to compromise them, and then boom. Sinema is single, she's gay, and a woman. So they don't have scandalous on her. They got something on Manchin, probably something involving sex. It's not easy to set up an old ugly guy. And he just seems, I'm not saying they did, but he's different to me in the last 2 weeks. So, but they need Sinema too. And other people are going to see what happened in Virginia is a complete rejection of everything Biden. So, so anybody else that was on the fence, they got problems now. They got problems. But the Manchin will cave because they got something on him. What are the chances? Well, let me ask you. What are the chances that an old, ugly Democrat senator hasn't been compromised by a woman?
I don't know. You might be right, but he comes from a coal-producing state. He just can't cave in. He just can't. There's no more fracking. There's no more anything.
Yeah, but three weeks ago, he was on the back of the yacht sipping champagne, laughing at the liberals on their little kayaks behind him. He doesn't look like that today.
Yeah, well, that's my fear, because that vote just cannot go through the whole.
Yeah. And I don't know what you're doing going to Dunkin' Donuts for coffee. Their coffee is the weakest coffee on the planet. It's like decaf. It tastes good, but there's no caffeine in it.
It's all right. I read the paper every morning. There's one that's quiet. That's the one I went to, and all of a sudden the whole zillions of people were walking.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Hey, listen, man. Thanks for the call. Take care. Exciting day. You guys excited? I'm excited. Yesterday, I was part of a conference with Mike Lindell, the Thomas Edison of sleep, the inventor of the MyPillow. And it was a conference of people like me here on the Steve Kane Show who share with you information about the great products at MyPillow. And I did not realize how much the left's cancel culture have gone after Mike Lindell and MyPillow. They're basically out of every retailer now. I mean, how dare they? Because he supports President Trump, because he supports MAGA, they get him kicked out of all the retailers? He's also off the television shopping channels, all of them. And my wife was telling me that he was on QVC all the time. Used to be on the QVC hours a day. He's off all of that too. Why? Because he stands up for President Trump and what's right in MAGA. And they're trying to cancel him. But what we're doing, what I'm doing, what you're doing, we are uncanceling him. We're stopping the cancel of Mike Lindell and MyPillow. When you use the promo code Kane at checkout, you are going to find incredible Christmas items, great Christmas gifts at MyPillow.com. If you go to our special section of the website, MyPillow.com/Kane, Kane, and use our promo code Kane at checkout, 50% off the MyPillow mattress topper, which I sleep on every night. I have since April. I was telling you how it knocked out my back pain. And one of our listeners was in the chat room on YouTube during the top of the hour break, Jill. And this is what Jill wrote. She says, this is in the chat room at 6:59 as we were going into the top of the hour break. Jill wrote this: I woke up, Brian, on my MyPillow mattress topper, and it was all those things you said, but also relieved. By the way, we won Virginia, she writes. That's right, we did win Virginia. When I wake up every morning on my MyPillow mattress topper, I am at peace. I feel like I'm on a cloud. It's like complete relaxation, complete serenity. It is so comfortable. It's one of those things you truly have to experience it. If you have a MyPillow mattress topper, you know what I'm talking about. They make great Christmas gifts too. And the box that they come in the mail is perfect for wrapping. And they'll never guess what it is. And you know what? It's a gift that they will enjoy and remember that you gave them for many years to come. 50% off the MyPillow mattress topper when you use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. And that is for every size mattress topper, no matter what size mattress it is. And they have a mattress topper that fits every size mattress made. So go there, use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, 50% off the MyPillow mattress topper. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. Do not let them cancel Mike Lindell. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane. We'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care.
Steve Kane Show.
And I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way...
Thanks, Jill. I'll probably use you again in the commercial today, too.
I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments.
Great, Bernadette. Thank you.
Save me a ton of money, and I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care
Oh, man. I was like the first Trump support. I was supporting Trump when he was running around demanding Obama produce his birth certificate, which he got Obama to do, by the way. And I wanted him to run back then instead of Romney.
You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
Donald Trump here. You're listening to the most pro-Donald Trump radio show in America, The Steve Kane Show. I love this show. Melania and I listen all the time. There's no better way to get the word out about your business than advertising here. Make America great again and advertise your business on The Steve Kane Show.
Thank you, President Trump. Call 1-888-GO-KANE1. That's 888-465-2631. Meet with me, Brian Craig, and Steve Kane, and we will be hearing about you and your business on the longest-running radio show in Florida, The Steve Kane Show. 888-465-2631.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing
Steve Kane Show.
Contractors focusing on residential.
Hey, Jeff. By the way, people said I did not block you on YouTube.
21 hurricane season is upon us.
Okay, you might have gotten in trouble with YouTube. I don't know. What did you say? Okay. All right. Hold on. That's Jeff from Maine.
Regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing middle seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Call us at 954.
What? Are you kidding me?
Free home inspection and estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
All right. Yes. Victory Wednesday. Huge victory. Humongous victory. Oh, man. I'm so excited, people. I really am. I cannot tell you how excited I am about everything that's going on right now. All right. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Jeff in Maine. Jeff in Maine, you're on the radio.
Hey, Brian. Listen, I think it is a time to celebrate, but at the same time to remember that we have to stay focused on 2022 and do what we have to do in our local communities. And I believe it starts in education in the schools and in your local election cycles. We need to get involved and get people educated, informed. And
Wesley, $5 super chat. Thank you. Well, thank you. McAuliffe refuses to concede.
Everywhere.
I hope he does it. Yeah.
We need to steamroll this through the next year.
I just heard that. Is it true that Terry McAuliffe has refused to concede?
Yep.
What's he waiting on?
I heard Fox News hasn't even called the race of the lieutenant governor or governor in Virginia yet.
Come on. Fox News has not called it yet. He's not the projected winner, at least.
Projected, but they won't call it.
Oh, they won't call it. There you go. That's Chris Wallace again. Isn't this amazing that we have a female black Republican woman now as the lieutenant governor of Virginia? Isn't that amazing?
And they said, this is the first time black female for that position. She goes, it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with what's doing right. And you listen to her acceptance speech. I tell you, she's awesome.
Well, yeah, and she's a great role model. You talk about going against the wave, the blue wave. I mean, can you imagine what she's gone up against? and she won. I mean, think about that. We elected a black Republican in a statewide race going up against the first black president, Obama, right? Obama was not for her. It was for the other side. And wow, I mean, the first black president lost his pick, and a black female Republican is now the lieutenant governor. I mean, what a defeat for the Obamas.
But we can't sit back. We need to use this as a igniter to keep this fire lit, to bring conservatism back to politics. You know, this liberal agenda is destroying us. And
well, that's one. You know, listen, I am a very. It may not seem this way to you guys, and I have my moments, but in general, I'm a very positive person. And what I see the Democrats saving this country by pushing their liberal crap, because, you know, they're pushing so many people to vote Republican that never would. I was watching the breakdowns in the Democrat counties by John King on CNN last night, and the Democrats did. They may have won those Democrat counties, but they didn't win them as big as they historically do. Many Democrats, fed up with the Democrat Party, crossed party lines in Virginia last night. So what the Democrats are doing is so bad, it's actually they're saving the country by accident.
you know, I think McAuliffe's biggest mistake that turned it was when he said that parents don't have a right to tell us what to teach in our schools. And I'll take it a step further than that. They are exposing themselves how evil they are. And I think even Democrats are like, what the hell did he just say? That parents don't have a right to say what's taught in the classroom?
Yeah, what the hell is that about? And I played a clip a couple days ago of McAuliffe. He said, I talked to a school board member, and he said our school boards were fine until these people started showing up. These people is what Democrats used to refer to as black people who wanted to desegregate the schools, right? Martin Luther King, until these people showed up. That's how he's referring to parents?
Yeah. And I got one more thing to say about that is, why can't we have live cameras on a laptop showing the being taught so parents can watch? But not only parents, but why not any taxpayer that's funding that? Why don't we have a right to say, even if we don't have kids in school anymore?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you can't get away with.
They have cameras everywhere else. Why not the classrooms? You know, yeah. But you notice a lot of what we're learning about in the classrooms, this craziness, isn't just from the Zoom lessons of last year. A lot of kids are pretty fed up with it, and they're using their cell phones and recording their teachers and what they're doing, and they're putting it up on TikTok or showing it to mom and dad. And you know, we've got students who are like, this is enough. I mean, even the students, they're young and they understand what's going on, are exposing this on their cell phones. They're becoming what Andrew Breitbart called citizen journalists. Andrew Breitbart, he said, he held up a cell phone and he says, with this phone, everyone is a citizen journalist. And that's what students are becoming now in public schools.
That's a great point.
Yeah. Hey, Jeff, take care. Thanks for the call. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Good morning, Brian. How are we doing?
Oh, man, Wisconsin Gary. Great.
Oh, you know, Brian, I sent your podcast yesterday. I think it was maybe 2 hours before that I was awake, but I've been awake pretty much the whole night just watching. I got maybe a 2-hour nap between here, but, oh, God, I love elections. I mean, it's just, there's times that you love them and there's other times that you hate them, but, I mean, for Virginia itself, with Youngkin winning, and then, of course, Fox still hasn't, you know, like Jeff and Maine has mentioned, they still haven't projected the winners for the lieutenant governor and also for the attorney, AG there. So, I mean, and we're still waiting on New Jersey. It was a good hearing about Seattle, Washington there. So, I mean, we're 1 year away from 2022. And we are 3 years, two months away from 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Got to stay very strong and not just the red wave, but the tidal wave to come in and really change this country around. Because if you remember at the one time there when Schumer said, well, we're going to change the world, I think it's time for us as Republicans to bring that back and to absolutely say, well, Schumer, you were wrong. Republicans rule this world.
Yep. Yeah, and it's happening. It's happening. This victory, I know these other things, are important, but we defeated their entire party. Their entire party last night.
And then also, you touched on about the critical race theory. Now they're trying to say that this isn't a thing. Well, that narrative, they're going to try pushing that now, but you know what? If critical race theory was never the issue, I don't think Youngkin would have won Virginia.
Oh, I agree.
Everything that happened with the school boards there, with the parents that got out, that's what helped Youngkin win. And that's what we got to do throughout the whole U.S. is start getting these people to look and see what's been going on here. Now, a lot of the exit polls that you were saying, about so many people of this voted for this and whatever else, but people that voted for Trump, there's some of the notes that I have, 95% of the people out of 5 voted for Youngkin because they were Trump supporters. So the word got out when Trump, endorsed them and everything else. Those numbers are just huge there. There's just so much so much information that was there, and it's just phenomenal. That's why when it comes to an election season, I don't care if I get no sleep the whole day or whatever else. I want to know what happens. But it's just
I'm one of those people. I go to bed. I went to bed at about 8 o'clock last night, and I do that on every election night. Even in 2016, I went to bed 8 o'clock. I do it every night. I can't handle the yakking of these liberals and never Trumpers. Okay, Newsmax had great coverage, and you Newsmax guys, they have Heather Childress, who my wife says looks like Morgan Fairchild. I think so too. But they have really upped their game from the last time I saw them on an election. They were spectacular last night. But I turned over to Fox, and Fox, they bring on Chris Wallace again. Is there anyone who do you dislike the most, Chris Wallace or Brian Stelter?
Neither.
I know, it's tough. You got to be likable to be on TV.
But it's like last night I had 3 devices going. I had my TV.
Oh man.
With ABC, and then I had my laptop running last.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's how I get into.
I wonder what your carbon footprint was.
Oh, it was probably pretty bad.
The reason I go to bed early on election night is because I want to be awake and energized in the morning for you guys on the radio. And let me tell you, I woke up this morning, and first thing I did is picked up my iPhone on the nightstand and looked. And I got out of bed. I got out of bed so full of energy, I almost didn't even need coffee this morning. It's a great energizer to wake up to this in the morning that we had this. Think about it. Obama came to town, and what do we have? A black female Republican lieutenant governor today after Obama was there and critical race theory was the big issue in the state. That tells you about such a rejection of everything Democrat like we've not seen in a long time.
Right. And just wait till next year because, all right, so I'm going to be taking off. I usually always take off for every election. This election year I didn't take off because we didn't have anything really in our state. But next year I'm almost going to have like two laptops fired up. I got a TV down in our office, plus then my phone will be going. So it's going to be an interesting.
Yeah, Steve is toying with the idea of us being live overnight at midnight on election night for the midterms, which would be a year from now. We've done that before. We did that in 2010 with the Tea Party. So that's something we're thinking about doing. So so if we do it, we'll be here live streaming. You guys will be a part of it, but it's maybe we will.
As much work as you do, I'm hoping Steve doesn't do it because you do a fabulous job with you and your wife doing the podcast. You do the broadcast during the day for 3 hours. You know, it's like, hopefully Steve can give you somewhat of a break.
Yeah.
You decide to do it. I mean, I'll give you the utmost respect because you did it. Plus, then do a broadcast that day, and if you do a podcast that day as well, oh my Lord, that brings up.
We did this last time, and we did this in 2010, and we were on live from midnight till 6 a.m. Then we had the morning show. So Steve was here, and we had a whole team of people, friends of ours, the other radio hosts that came in with us, and at about 3 or 4 in the morning, they all fell asleep, and I was left doing the rest all the way till 9 a.m. It was a tough thing to do, let me tell you. Tough thing. All right, hey Gary, it's a great day. It's a great day. Hey, if you can, catch a load to Virginia, just so you can go there.
I'm going to say this quickly. I hated to go through Virginia before because, believe it or not, the DOT weight scales there and the state police would almost pick every driver up for just the littlest thing. Now with Youngkin being there, I will love going to Virginia.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's right. All right, Wisconsin Gary, take care. All right, take care. All right, we'll be right back.
With diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage.
Steve Kane Show.
At-risk patients. I want to introduce
Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane Show.
Authority, with the Soul Authority.
Hey, hold on.
At little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of.
If you're new here, make sure you subscribe, all right? And if everyone could like the video, that helps a lot. Getting my liking the video tells the YouTube algorithm to recommend this video and my channel to other people that like this kind of content. Steve Kane Show.
Per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes.
Yeah, hold on.
These are name brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoulauthority.com.
Hey guys, don't forget to check out my interview with Trump's chief of staff yesterday. It's the video before this one. Mark Meadows, very good interview. I think you guys will like it if you've not already heard it. Okay, I'm getting word that Steve wants to join us, but I'm not sure if it's now or after the next break.
$135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
Brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel and the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South
Yeah, he
Florida,
is.
from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Toll free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, we are back. It's 36 minutes after 7. My name is Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. If you're just joining us, we are celebrating the incredible beginning of the red wave with a Republican, Youngkin, becoming the governor of Virginia, a black female Republican becoming the lieutenant governor. This is just a great day. I got a message here that Steve was, I'm a little clear, Steve's ready to join us either now or the next break. I don't know which break it is. We only have one opening on the board. Let's see if he's there now. You with us, Steve? We got you.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. The message I got said next break, but I didn't know if that meant the break I was in or the break at 7:45. But obviously, you're here to talk about the World Series. The Atlanta picked a bad day. Atlanta picked a bad day to win the World Series. Who cares? Who cares? Yeah.
Glorious day. Look, I just want to point something out to you because this is so beautiful. What's going on? It's just it's a great tribute. I know a lot of people in our audience.
Steve Kane Show.
Are people of faith.
Hey, hold on.
And that's really what you need in situations like this. I'm going to repeat a couple of the things I've said since last year, because it was a year ago that we were faced with the unpleasant realization that President Trump was not going to be president, at least not at present.
Yep.
And let the Lord do His work, okay? It's all part of the plan. Who do we have to thank for this? You want to know who we have? The biggest players in what has gone down over the last year. The Squad, right?
Mm-hmm.
See Pelosi.
Oh, yeah.
Kamala.
Oh.
All this stuff on the border, this mishigas that's going on now. And what did I say throughout this? I said, things are going to get worse before they get better. And they got worse, and they got more outrageous, and Biden made more bad decisions. This latest one is a Lulu of Lulus. I don't know what was going through his head, but I could see the hand of the Lord in it, where he wants to make millionaires out of all these illegal...
Hey, it's the American dream to be a millionaire, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely. I don't think they meant that way.
Oh, okay.
Whatever it was, it got worse and worse, and then all you got to do is turn on your television and watch the magic of the Lord. Watch.
Now, Steve, you may have confused some of our new listeners. Some of our new listeners, I know they're saying to themselves, "What is Steve talking about? The Lord? Isn't he a Jew?" Yes, Steve is a Jew, but he's a Jew who has accepted Jesus Christ as his Lord and Savior. So he's a Jewish Christian, if you're just wondering.
There's nothing can renew your faith more than seeing what the Lord has wrought with these people. And the fun is just beginning now for us, because today is going to be a day, the beginning of...
the end of the Democrats.
Well...
The red wave.
But, yeah, it's where all the bad decisions are going to hit. These people are going to turn on each other. They're going to be attacking each other. It's going to be the blame game. They're not going to be able to do anything. The president's totally emasculated.
Did you see Biden come? Did you see Biden last night? He came off Air Force One in the dark, wearing a mask in shame. He looked so defeated coming down the steps yesterday, and didn't even comment on. By the way, in our chat room, we're getting a lot of support. People finding out for the first time that you're a Christian as well as a Jew, and you're getting a lot of support in the chat room. Amen, Brother Steve. I'm getting all kinds of... A little different than when that first happened a few years ago. Oh, my goodness.
Really, it really does change the way you look at the world. There's no question. And I pointed out, I don't like to say I told you so, but I'll point out to you.
But you will.
Yes. I don't want to say I told you so, but...
And I don't like it, but I'll tell you, even though I don't like it.
Well, I'm telling you, it's just an amazing thing, and it's only going to get better from here on.
No doubt.
Because I think we now see what God has in mind.
Well, as I was talking to Jeff from Maine earlier before the bottom of the hour break, he said the Democrats are destroying this country. They're actually saving this country by driving so many people to the Republican Party.
Thank God for the Squad.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Let's hope they win their midterms, too, because they do us a lot of good. They're great for us.
It goes to show you, everything things you think are bad are really...
Steve, now, what do you think is going through the minds of these Democrats when we now have a black female Republican lieutenant governor of Virginia? I mean, that's got to be a shock. Oh, my goodness.
Now they got to go and make friends and try to come up with some
good luck
coherent policy, and they're all hating on each other.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway.
Well, listen, I'm looking at a full board of calls. Let's take 1 or 2 calls before we break. All right. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, I'm Vicky. I'm sorry, Vicky.
Vicky, where are you calling from, Vicky? Where are you calling from?
Columbus, Ohio.
All right, my hometown. Vicky from Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah. So I'm just a little bit concerned about the fact that somebody has not conceded.
Terry McAuliffe, we're conceding for him.
I know, but that's the way it happened last time. I watched these things late at night, and the voting machine.
Well, he's lost, and it's been called. You know. Listen, what Terry McAuliffe is. You're a woman, so you don't experience this like men do. But one of the most humiliating things a man goes through is when he's rejected by a girl or dumped. Terry McAuliffe has just been dumped by Virginia, and he's getting a little stalkerish and a little denial. But we don't need him to concede. We got it.
All we have to do is kick back and enjoy the show.
Yeah, let him go out and make a fool out of himself. Did you see him dancing last night? My goodness. We need to get that man in a program.
I remember going to sleep on the...
All right, but listen, that's defeatist talk. We're partying today. Good morning, you're on the radio. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
This is Dave in New Market, Virginia.
Dave in Virginia. Oh, man, must be a good morning up there.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to tell you, it was a cold rain yesterday, and they had 2 tents up, one for the Democrats and the Republicans, and there wasn't anybody around the Democratic tent. We were all around the Republican, and it was just so cool because I went inside with my mega hat on, and there was a veteran sitting right there telling me what to do, and he said, "I like your hat."
Mm-hmm. Well, it was raining yesterday in Virginia. What's the weather like this morning?
It's cool. We had some frost, but
no rain though. See, we've cleared the rains out with this MAGA. What do you think was the defining issue? Why do you think the Trump endorsed candidate Youngkin? Why do you think Youngkin won in such a landslide? There must have been like one thing that you guys.
It was the parents showing up. Yes, as soon as he made that call and said that they shouldn't have anything to do with their kids' education, that was it for him. He just stroked his own stake in his heart.
Yeah. I mean, the nerve of that guy. Who do these parents think they are? Wanting to parent their own children? That's for the government to do. What a jerk.
I'll tell you what. You have to God bless the election this time. He was behind.
Mm-hmm. Now in Virginia, this is the biggest defeat of Virginia since Lee surrendered. I mean, my goodness. Now you have a black female Republican lieutenant governor. I mean, when Obama was campaigning for the Democrats, this has been a defeat of the entire Democrat machine in Virginia.
From here. From here.
They'll push harder.
They'll probably go either up to Wisconsin.
Oh, and lose there too? Listen, Virginia, I know there's a lot of other races where things have happened. Virginia's a big one because Virginia, they had the entire Democrat Party there. They had the two most recent, they had their 2 presidents, Obama and Biden, and their vice president, and they were all defeated. And that
one swoop
flipped the whole state, and that's a big chunk of red on the map. And the perception going into the midterms, when we have flipped a blue state where the entire Democrat and 2 Democrat presidents were fighting, the perception of that is really, I mean, that's a massive defeat for the morale of Democrats. Massive.
And the blame game will start today.
Well, Virginia, thanks for calling, and have a great day. All right, it's time for our last break of the second hour of the program. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name's Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. And I got a message in our chat room, Steve, about an hour ago almost, from one of our listeners talking about the MyPillow mattress topper, Jill. She wrote, this is Jill. This was at 6:59 this morning in the YouTube live chat. I woke up, Brian, on my MyPillow mattress topper, and it was all those things you said and also relieved. And then she wrote, we won Virginia, too. She wrote at the end. You know, the MyPillow mattress topper will change your life. If you already have one, you know what I'm talking about. It will change your life. It not only got rid of my back pain almost instantly when I was suffering from back pain last week. You wake up not just completely refreshed and rested. You wake up in a complete, the way I describe it, peace and serenity, as if I'm totally relaxed when I wake up and I'm sleeping on a cloud. It will change your life. And when you go to mypillow.com/Kane, K-A-N-E, and you use our promo code Kane, you can get the MyPillow mattress topper for 50% off on every size mattress topper. And they have a mattress topper for every size mattress there is, including the RV Queen, Twin, all the way up to King, and even California King, and every size in between. 50% off the MyPillow mattress topper. It makes a great Christmas gift. When it comes in the mail, it comes in a box that is perfect for gift wrapping under the tree. The recipient will never guess what it is, and when they open it up, it's a gift that they'll love and remember for years to come. And I was in a conference meeting for MyPillow with Mike Lindell yesterday. Steve missed it, but I told you about this, Steve. And he was talking about what MyPillow's been going through. They've canceled MyPillow out of every retailer now. Every one of the retail stores pretty much no longer have and will no longer carry MyPillow products because Mike Lindell's fighting for President Trump. And we're going to stand against that and stop the cancel of Mike Lindell and MyPillow. And the best way you can do that is order his products. That MyPillow mattress topper, perfect Christmas gift for yourself or anyone on your gift-giving list. 50% off with the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879.
My name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. The 2021 hurricane season is upon us. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
Seniors, open enrollment is here. I Will Advisors is here to offer you an unbiased comparison of all your Medicare health insurance options. I Will Advisors specialize in educating Medicare beneficiaries on every available option to ensure you make the right choice for your needs. Call us directly at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right, we're back. Oh, hey, Steve, by the way, I know Steve's not an internet person, but if you get someone in your house to bring up Tucker Carlson's website, you can watch that special on the Capitol breach for free on Tucker Carlson's website. So I watched part 2 yesterday. What they're doing is so bad. I told my wife, I wish I didn't know this. What they're doing is so bad. It's scary. I mean, it would almost make you cry what they're doing. But let's not get sidetracked on that. We're celebrating the beginning of the red wave of victory. You want to go back to the phones? All right. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian and Steve. It's Andrea from Pennsylvania.
Oh. Yeah.
I am fantastic.
today is a good day.
It is.
A great day.
That was, you know what? The thing that I love the most is what you're going to see now is that the Democratic Party will no longer be able to play the race card because people aren't buying it anymore. That whole "you're racist," because that's what they did right at the end of Youngkin's campaign. They started calling him a racist. They started saying, you know...
What makes you think they're going to stop doing... What makes you think that they're going to stop doing that?
Oh, I don't think the Democrats are going to stop doing it. But what I think is people now see, like they're not buying it.
They said...
How can I say this? They've become so reliant upon playing the race card that I don't think they can play the game without it. I don't think...
Steve, last night on MSNBC, they said that red fleece vest are the new Klan's robe.
Yep.
I love it.
Isn't that great?
More. We want more. We want more.
Yeah.
Well, let me kind of clue you into what happened in New Jersey. This is what happened in New Jersey.
Thing around, it's not going to be with Virginia. It's going to be with New Jersey.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm gonna let that one play out. I'm gonna celebrate Virginia. I'm not gonna get sidetracked on these other things until we get some definitive answers. You know, Joe Lockhart, was Joe Lockhart one of Clinton's White House spokespeople? I think he was. Yeah, he was his main spokesperson. He said yesterday, "Let's go, Brandon." He said that's coded language just like ISIS, the Nazis, and the KKK. By the way, lose some weight, Joe Lockhart. Oh my God, I don't even recognize him. He's so obese now. He's like Jerry Nadler before he lost the weight. But you know, they're losing everything, the Democrats. But what they've lost more than anything is they've lost touch with the pulse of the American people, and these positions and things they're promoting. The American people, that when they say last year, for example, there was a global shutdown of the economy. And the only supply we were short of was toilet paper. President Trump kept the supply chain going. He even got the TP back. Here we have no, we shouldn't have problems. And Biden is saying we got to get accustomed to less on Thanksgiving, which is a celebration of abundance. You've got to get used to less during this supply chain crisis.
But what people need to realize about this situation is that only 15% of our supply chain is imported, especially the food. So why this is happening, I don't know.
Because we've got a transportation secretary who's got a movie coming out about him this month on Amazon, and he's more concerned about what he's wearing on the red carpet than doing his job.
Although, aren't they all just very image-based? And what happened to Kamala with that Southern accent?
Oh, Kamala. I'm so glad you mentioned Kamala. Hold on, I got a soundbite of Kamala here. Hold on, I've got so many sound bites we're not going to get. Okay, this is Kamala. She went the other day to Virginia to campaign for McAuliffe. This is what Kamala Harris had to say.
Because you see, what happens in Virginia will in large part determine what happens in 2022, 2024, and on.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with her. Oh, man, first time in her life. Broken clock Kamala. Yeah.
Sir, what do you want to make about that Biden had a bathroom as soon as he found out about Virginia?
If you've not seen it yet, do this after 9 o'clock when we're off the air, okay? But go online and look for the footage of Biden getting off Air Force One coming back from Europe yesterday after the defeat. Whoa. Did he look defeated?
Oh, absolutely. And it was amazing. And I hope that happens more often now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, Brian? I woke up like in the middle of the night, and they had Brett Baer and I think Martha McCallum, because they were doing the recap.
Mm-hmm.
That clip, because I think it was Martha McCallum that said, well, if any Republicans are going to run against Trump, Youngkin has just given them the winning formula.
Mm-hmm.
That's news for you.
And Martha McCallum's a never-Trumper. When she's not trying to cover up her age of her neck on TV by wearing strange scarves and things, she's always undermining MAGA and President Trump. She hates President Trump. I don't know why, but she really hates President Trump, Martha McCallum.
Well, she can get a shot in her neck, and that'll...
Well, I'll tell you, Brett Baer could help Martha McCallum. My wife showed me Brett Baer's wife's Instagram yesterday. I think Brett Baer's wife has broken the world record. She's had more cosmetic work than any person alive. And, I think Martha McCallum could use that cosmetic surgeon on her neck. But anyway, Andrea, thanks for the call. All right, take care. Take care. Steve has the second worldwide record for cosmetic work. But, all right, let's take another call. Good morning, you're on the radio. Oh, Greg, too. How you doing, Greg?
Greg, how are you this morning? Good.
Very well. How about you, Steve? I'm sure you're doing very well.
I'm just soaking it up and enjoying it.
Aren't you doing well? The Trump-endorsed candidate for governor of Virginia, Youngkin, won last night in a landslide. Aren't you doing well, too?
Listen, I don't, as long as he's a conservative, I don't care who backed him, Brian. You know what, Steve? I think you'll agree with me, and I know Brian won't let you talk.
Oh.
This infatuation with Trump that Brian has, like he says statements like when Trump is in the state of Florida or Palm Beach County. By the way, I'm from Boca, you as well. And by the way, our office is only like a month.
Can you finish a sentence before you've done two by the ways? Something about the weather, and then you...
Steve, what do you think? What do you think of Brian's infatuation?
Of Trump.
I share it.
And the weather, and I'll tell you something. I'm looking out over the... Oh, he's trying to divide us, Steve. He's trying to divide us. He's yeah.
Go ahead, Greg, go.
It's a Steve Kane show.
Oh, here we go.
Greg,
no.
Talk to me.
Let me ask you this question, though. Do you think the winner in Virginia was more attributable to these radical policies Democrats are perpetrating upon us, or...
Of course.
It was a Trump endorsement. Which one played a bigger role, Steve?
I think they were all intertwined together.
See, Trump said Saturday night to Judge Jeanine, if my base turns out, Youngkin wins. And the Trump base did turn out.
Let me try to explain something to you, all right? Because people don't seem to understand this. McCullough made several mistakes.
What's up?
One of them nobody's talking about, but he assumed that Trump's old numbers, because Trump.
Mm-hmm.
would be alienated by
the Trump name. He kept out there talking about Trump all the time.
Sorry, but you know what I realized? There are a whole bunch of Trump voters that were Trump voters that were not Trump voters last time, that voted against Trump. They hate Trump people. Now they've been living for a year with the alternative, which is Biden. And I think there are a lot of people that may not have liked Trump in the last election, but boy, after spending a year with Joe Biden, Trump looks pretty good to them now.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't figure that. They felt like that resentment was going to be, even people that how many people do you think are in that category? People that hated Trump in the last election.
I'd say, Steve, to answer that question, he flipped probably 10 to 15% Democrats towards our side. I mean, easily. Listen, gas prices are up. There's a supply chain, problem. But
the whole thing went to hell in a handbasket. But that's relying on people still being hostile to Trump.
Beating up parents. Yep.
I'm having trouble getting my words out this morning. There are a whole bunch of people that didn't vote for Trump in the last election that don't have that feeling of it.
Yeah.
Or because they've been living with Biden.
That's right.
They wish that they could have, gotten Trump last time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The point I was making a couple of years ago to Brian, which he would not condone, is that Donald Trump gave us Joe Biden on a silver platter. If he would have stopped us tweeting constantly, my accountant, for example, I met with my accountant and I told him, all
right, well, we're late for the break, but take care, Greg, too. We're 4 minutes late for the break. We're 4 minutes late for the break, okay? And our accountant says we got to run commercials to pay the bills, okay? So, jeez. Oh, boy. Yes, well, I learned from the best. Joyce Kaufman. All right. We're in a good mood today. If you're on hold, don't go anywhere. Stand by, all right? We'll be right back. Third hour has already begun, but we're going to take our top of the hour break right now.
Chicago, AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network, WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified.
Was something up, Rich?
Residential and commercial.
Oh, okay.
Windows and building restoration. The 2021 hurricane season is upon us. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete systems.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. So I'm a little late here. I'm Scott.
Oh, hey, Scott. How you doing?
Pleasure. Very nice to meet you.
Oh, you're a listener?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just like, I know Steve's on today and things like that.
Yeah, hold on. You want to be on camera? Do you mind?
Oh, sure.
A listener stopped by with something.
Little treat for you.
Oh, hold on a second. Let me hit the... Oh, my goodness. Let me show everybody on YouTube. Oh. Flintstone. These are donuts, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Mini donuts.
Gourmet mini donuts. All right. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. What is this, your plate? Oh, you got the radio station logo?
Yeah, we got logos.
Oh, you're down the street from Steve's house.
In Cooper City?
Sterling Road in Cooper City. Yes, Steve lives in Rock Creek.
Not too far. Right.
Yeah.
On the sea.
Oh, my goodness. Awesome. Well, I appreciate it.
No, thank you so very, very much. Here's a little write-up about us.
Oh, okay.
And here's a little note for you.
All right.
Here's my card if there's anything you need.
Oh, how do you know Jody? Are you doing something on our station or something?
Doing some stuff, yeah.
Oh, what are you doing?
Right now, she's doing some bar work with us. She loves our product. And
oh, okay.
Different things.
Oh, well, good, because usually, since you know Jody, it's okay. Usually I don't eat things that listeners bring by because you never know. But I trust you. I trust you.
You want to, my friend. You definitely want to. For sure.
I appreciate it. So, you're doing trade with them?
Some trade, but she wants to help promote us to get us out there more and more business.
Well, that's good.
It's exciting.
I'll see if I can get Steve to stop by.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Where off of Sterling? Like, what intersection are you closest?
Pine Island.
You're like almost walking distance from Steve's house.
A little, yeah, he's a little bit away, yeah. Where Aroma is on the west corner, the northwest corner of that.
Oh, okay. I'll tell Steve about you to stop in.
Friendly Tire, just
Great.
$5 a tire. Enjoy and
Yeah, I will. Well, thanks for coming by. I appreciate it. Take care. What was your name again?
Scott.
Scott. Oh, it's right there on the card. All right, Scott. Thanks so much. And I'll keep all this stuff. I'll look at it after the show. All right. Take care.
On the road, free mounting and balancing, and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good use.
Yeah, these are good donuts. Oh my goodness. Don't worry, Rock Creek's a huge place with thousands of homes, so I didn't.
He will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel.
Hey, he's a nice guy. These donuts look spectacular.
Distribution of your assets at the time of your passing. Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll free 1-855-FLA-3782.
No, I usually don't. Jody is the station manager, the general manager of the radio station we were talking about. I usually don't eat anything a listener brings by. People drop off food sometimes, but since he's friends with the station manager, it's okay. All right, we're back. Third hour's begun. I'm Brian. Steve is here. Oh, man. Had one of your neighbors just stop by during the break, Steve? Well, kind of, yeah, someone's, Scott, he's got a donut shop down the street from your house, and he brought in some very delicious, it's called Mini Donut World on Sterling Road over there in Cooper City, on Sterling and Pine Island, walking distance from your house. So, yeah. Well, since you're in Cooper City and I'm in Boca, I'm going to eat the donuts for you, but they look really, really good. These, oh my goodness. Yeah, it's called Mini Donut World in Cooper City. Check it out. All right. You want to take some more calls? I got some sound. What do you want to do? Okay, now before we take, all right, let's take, these are all in random order. I've not screened the calls. I don't know who's on hold. You're on the radio? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Oh, hey, Mike.
Hey, here's how big this wave was. You got the governor, the lieutenant governor, the AG, and House of Delegates over there.
Oh, I did not know that. We flipped the House of Delegates in Virginia? Yeah. Oh, my goodness. We took the whole state government. Oh, my goodness.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And look, and by the way, one of the most dramatic happenings last night, we haven't talked about it at all so far today, really, but the fact...
Steve Kane Show. Hey.
I don't know if we're going to win New Jersey or not, because I'm very nervous of, the little crooked New Jersey.
Yeah.
It's astounding. I mean, it was just, we swept everything in sight. It was a major cataclysm for the Democrats. They just got wiped out across the board.
Oh, yeah.
And think about this. Tim Kaine, who is the senator, who's the former vice presidential running mate, and who's the senator from Virginia right now, he's going to be, his term ends in 2022. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Next year. They could flip that Senate seat.
Yeah.
Be able to gain control of the House by any chance? Any chance?
You mean yes. Are you kidding? Yes.
I'm not talking about next year.
No. There's no way. No. They have a big majority. I don't know the exact number, but we would need a lot. In the House? If somebody knows how many it is, let us know. I could use more good news.
Picked up some, when they reapportioned the delegates, I think we're picking up some by virtue of an increase in population, I think.
Mm-hmm. I don't know the exact...
They call in.
Yeah, please do. Yeah.
Right.
But that's good news that we flipped the House of Delegates. I did not know that. I'm so
Only about 4 or 5
in the House. Oh, Steve, I hope you're right. Oh man.
Somebody on that. We got knowledgeable people out there. They'll tell us.
Not a good day to be a Democrat, I'll tell you.
The thing that happened what happened in 2020 was bad, but think about this. They lost seats in the House in 2020 to the Democrats.
That's correct.
You know, they went from a double-digit lead to probably around 10 or under 10 seat lead in the House.
Yeah.
Somebody will call in with that. Thank you for your call.
Oh, man. All right, Richie the bus driver.
Richard.
Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Brian.
It is a great morning, yes.
Yeah, did you feel a shock wave? I mean, my whole house shook.
Yeah, that was the red tidal wave.
Yeah, it's still shaking.
Yeah, I'm telling you. First of all, I sat on pins and needles watching his lead go down, and then when that county shut down, and
Fairfax. Oh, I was getting nervous too. That's when I went to bed. But we won.
This guy and Terry McAuliffe, there goes Hillary Clinton's chances because they're connected at the waist, and this guy's been a big operative. I mean,
well, who are the Democrats going to go to now?
Nobody.
The governor of California, Newsom.
Yeah, he wants to run.
Yeah, no, he'll run for president. He won the recall, so he thinks he's a big hero.
And he's Nancy Pelosi's cousin.
Nephew.
I don't understand. We have an Afro-American now in Virginia, okay, and she's intelligent, smart, clean.
Clean. Oh my goodness.
Okay, but I'm looking at the blacks up there, and I'm saying to myself, why do you keep voting for these people that keep stocking it to you? I mean, they kept on talking about all these blue counties that are Afro-American going. I mean, and then they got to bring the big guns in, Obama and all of this. What is going on? I mean, this is ridiculous. This is my message, and I'm sure we have black listeners that listen to your show. Start paying attention to what's going on, and don't be manipulated by these people. They're already calling us white racists.
You know, I wonder. You know, where's Jamaican Wayne?
To continue.
Where's Jamaican Wayne? And Al the John today? Where are they?
The John's been missing for a while.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's awful that they're manipulated like this. This guy from South Carolina that got Biden in, he came up there, and they all the big guns, and they were rejected by the American people. But yet, if you turn on MSNBC and CNN, especially CNN, they said this is, and Larry Sabato turned, I thought he was a moderate.
What happened to, he's the worst.
He used to put on a neutral to conservative face with us. Larry Sabato's a rabid liberal.
Oh, yeah.
Can't believe it. It shocked me.
I'll tell you another one that turned out with Tucker exposed her too.
Steve Kane Show.
And that's Cheney hanging out with that Republican that's a leftist that hates Republicans and hates white people, Anna Navarro.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what she doesn't hate, though. Food.
Yeah, she is a crude animal. And Liz Cheney was at her house. They showed it on Tucker Carlson. They're good buddies. It's amazing.
Anna Navarro was at her house?
Anna Navarro's house for an event. They took a picture together with her husband, Anna Navarro.
Wow.
Private home.
Wow.
Yeah, Tucker showed it. Tucker said, "Look at Liz."
Was Debbie Wasserman Schultz there too? My goodness, what a crew.
Yeah, this is like you say all the time, Brian. You couldn't hang around liberals because that's not the way you're raised. You have values. It shows Liz Cheney is really a turncoat.
Yeah, she is. All right, Richie the bus driver, take care. Thanks for the call. I was up all morning putting together some of these sound bites, so let me play some of them for you, Steve. If you want to call in, our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Let me play. You mentioned Larry Sabato. I got a clip with him. Let me play this. This is his analysis.
This is amazing.
So how did education become the #1 issue, Larry?
Because one of the candidates decided it was his ticket to the governor's mansion, and he may well be right. The operative word is not critical, and it's not theory. It's race. What a shock, huh? Race. That is what matters, and that's why it sticks. There's a lot of, we can call it white backlash, white resistance, whatever you want to call it. It has to do with race. And
white backlash, white resistance. You know, I remember thinking he was conservative, like a moderate conservative. Was that?
Very moderate, very moderate.
And now he's calling us racist.
What I said, couldn't believe it.
Now he's calling us racist. Now there was MSNBC. They've got some. They're freaking out over there. This is a panel. It's Rachel Maddow, Nicole Wallace, and Rachel Maddow. Joy Reid, Rachel Maddow, and Nicole Wallace.
If you're saying education is the most important issue, you might be a black voter who says, I'm defending great literature and defending Toni Morrison, and I don't like the idea that Youngkin wants to be a governor that would purge those books. What's next? The biography of Dr. King? Is W.E.B. Du Bois next? I mean, Dr. King said America might go to hell. Are we going to erase any of his, his more sort of robust commentary on America? Is that not going to be allowed to be taught?
Where Trump ran as a guy who was going to ban all Muslims, Mexicans were rapists and murderers. Black people came from bleep hole countries.
He never said black people come from S-hole countries. That's just a lot. That's Nicole Wallace.
No, but somebody said that it was Obama's guru.
Yeah.
Murders. Black people came from bleep hole countries. He was such an uncouth and flagrant, debased. There was no conversation about race under him. It was beneath even people who said they voted for him. What Youngkin has done is he put it in a disguise.
Yes.
He gave it a fake name, and his candidacy is wrapped in two big lies. One is this half-truth. I flew an insurrection flag at my rally, but whoa!
Okay, now she says that Youngkin flew an insurrection flag at a rally. Do you know what that flag is, Steve?
Well, I heard you say.
Oh, okay, yeah, that Trump flag. Yeah, a Trump flag is what she's referring to when she says an insurrectionist flag.
Candidacy is wrapped in two big lies. One is this half-truth. I flew an insurrection flag at my rally, but whoa, Trump's at arm's length, there's Trump.
Yeah.
And the second big lie is I watched his rally last Saturday. His campaign promise, and he was making this promise in Loudoun and in Alexandria, is on day one, I'm going to ban critical race theory. That is like us banning the ghosts.
Right.
There are no ghosts.
That's right.
So we can say, you know what, 7 p.m. we're banning the ghosts. There are no ghosts. There isn't critical race theory talk. But what he's done is he's laundered Trump's really sort of disgusting, flagrant out-racism. He's wrapped it in education.
Yeah, they would have to be willing to say what you have said on your show. I think we've all said a version of it. You'd have to be willing to vocalize that these Republicans are dangerous, that this isn't a party that's just another political party that disagrees with us on tax policy, that at this point, they're dangerous. They're dangerous to our national security, because stoking that kind of soft white nationalism eventually leads to the hardcore stuff. It leads to the January 6th stuff, because if people are tolerant of it in your party, they're tolerant of the soft racism, it's a really short trip to get to the January 6th insurrectionists.
Okay, yeah, so she said
that's their whole thing that they're going to be running on the next year, trying to convince the voters that Trump is a racist leading an insurrection. And it's not going to play.
No, and Trump flags, and there's this new thing. She mentioned it there, and I heard a lot of this on the mainstream media last night. Critical race theory is not being taught in schools and doesn't exist. It's only being taught at Harvard, they tell us now. I know. They're pretty upset. They seem shocked that they lost, and Youngkin's going to take us to another insurrection. They're undermining the duly elected governor of Virginia. It sounds like they are insurrectionists. We just had an election. Youngkin won. and they're discounting his victory. That sounds like insurrectionist talk. Let's take one call and then we'll break. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Yes, Brian, this is Pete from Fort Lauderdale. I'm really happy this morning. I go to the beach every morning at Fort Lauderdale here and watch the sunrise. Not only was the weather great, the sunrise was great, but we got the news that Youngkin won, and just really happy this morning.
Oh, yeah.
And I hope it's, I hope it's a sign of things to come.
Oh, yeah. It's the beginning. It's the beginning of the red wave.
Yes, I hope so. I actually tried to see you the other morning when you were at the beach, but I missed you because I slept a little late. I'm 65 years old.
Ah. You missed it, Steve. On Saturday morning, I was live streaming on YouTube watching the sunrise at Fort Lauderdale Beach. Yeah. Yeah. When I was verbally assaulted by the gay bicyclist. Yeah.
So smoothly if I've been there.
Yeah. Hey, listen, thanks for the call, man. All right, take care. All right, we're going to take our break 23 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll be back with your calls after this break. Don't go anywhere.
Come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to Any Lab Test Now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line.
Yeah, let me show you guys these donuts.
Stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant.
These are the most incredible donuts. Look at this.
I was out of there within 20 minutes, thank goodness.
It's got our station logo on.
I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs.
Do those look good or what?
Listeners, and tell them we sent you.
Oh, man.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located at 9...
And you can, it's online at minidonutworld.com. minidonutworld.com. Yeah, if you want to find them online.
954-906-5983. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza, where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
This is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts.
Oh, man, they smell so good.
Save up to 50% on your insulation and radiant barrier, and up to 35% on your electric bill. That's 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
Oh man, we are back. Oh, I gotta tell people a couple things about Scott from Cut My Kilowatts, Steve. Couple things. One, Scott from Cut My Kilowatts, you want to call him, talk to him about how he can reduce your electric bill year-round, forever, with Radiant Barrier. Two things I got to tell you. One, no matter where you are in the state of Florida, Scott from Cut My Kilowatts, give him a call. He can help you, no matter where you are in Florida. And also, there's a huge discount right now on Radiant Barrier because it's installed in your attic. And during the hot months, it's about 135 degrees up there, and the guys can't work up there very long because the heat is too much. Now that it's cooled off a little bit, they can work up in the attic longer, get the job done faster, which saves Scott from Cut My Kilowatts a lot of money on labor cost, and he passes that savings on to you. So give Scott a call. Incredible discounts right now on Radiant Barrier because of the cooler weather. No matter where you are in Florida, give him a call and talk to him about how he can reduce your electric bill year-round forever. 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500. Steve's got the Radiant Barrier, and so does Richie the bus driver. All right, Steve, it's an exciting day. You know, what do you think? I think the Democrats are going to push harder on critical race theory now. You're off mic, Steve. You're off mic, Steve. You're off mic. That's perfect. Perfection.
Yeah, they're gonna turn on each other now.
Really?
Look to scapegoat.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, the squad.
Oh, who are they going to scapegoat? Who are they going to scapegoat for this?
Well, the moderates are going to
Oh, that sounds like fun. I hope they do it on TV.
Oh, it's going to be all over. There's more anger in that party now, and at this point, it's going to. Until now, it's been turned inward. But now they're going to go after each other.
What do you think? What about this bill? Is that done now?
No. They got to come up with something.
Oh, it's gotta slow it down.
Going to change the whole thing. They're going to have to start from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
For something more moderate that won't destroy the economic future of the country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Worry. That was the way.
Well, Steve, you had. Well, I don't know. They're having problems with Democrats, right? So Biden went to Virginia and lost. Kamala went to Virginia and lost. Obama went to Virginia and lost. So they don't have a lot of juice twisting the arms of people that are on the fence. And I would think a lot of these Democrats are thinking that Biden and Kamala is a negative to be connected with.
The Democratic Party are going to go bonkers now.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's going to be open warfare.
Yeah. I really enjoy Youngkin. This is just a clip of Youngkin after the victory. Oh man, hear the crowd? Oh man, he has a huge crowd there. I was watching it online last night. This was something else. This was really something else. Now on CNN, they were very reluctant to call the race. So Tapper is there with John King, and it wasn't supposed to be this way. And listen to this, CNN.
Again, because John King and I find this Virginia gubernatorial race internally fascinating. A Commonwealth that Joe Biden won by 10 percentage points and Glenn Youngkin, 71% of the vote in. It's not over yet, but he is so far doing quite well. He is exceeding his metrics just about everywhere on the map, including the red you see in the Republican counties in Virginia. Glenn Youngkin is exceeding his metrics, exceeding the performance of the Republican candidate 4 years ago, and turning out Trump voters in Trump country. And in a lot of these areas, even though they're blue, he's doing better than Republicans have in quite some time. That's one way to look at it. So what do I do constantly when we get to this point, right? A lot of people are saying at home, why haven't you called it? Well, we're conservative, and we know there are still hundreds of thousands of votes to be counted.
Why haven't you called it? Because this is CNN. Because we're desperate, and we're wishing, and we're praying.
That's one way to look at it. So
Yeah, we're desperate. We're desperate.
It's over.
He did.
Again, they're delusional.
Yeah.
When we get to this point,
that's
right?
the overall message.
Absolute. Delusional and desperate.
Saying at home, why haven't you called it? Well, we're conservative, and we know there are still hundreds of thousands of votes to be counted. And we know we live in volatile times, so we will wait to count. But you start to look at this point, you're thinking, okay, Glenn Youngkin has got a pretty healthy lead. Are there more Democratic votes out there? So you look everywhere.
You look everywhere. Yeah, church basements, closets, trunks of cars. Oh my goodness. What does that mean? We haven't called it yet because we live in volatile times. What is he talking about? Oh my goodness. I love live TV, Yeah. He's in shock, exactly. He's like, it wasn't supposed to be this way. This is not how our night was supposed to be. I'm really surprised how shocked they seem to be on television, because there were all these negative polls. And
I watched a lot of MSNBC last night at your suggestion.
Oh, yes, fun, wasn't it?
Rachel Maddow, I think, put on a credible face. I think she wasn't as delusional as the rest of them. She was, like she's preparing for a real job at a real radio station.
Yeah.
I think is what's going on.
No, Steve, Rachel Maddow is about to replace. This has not been announced yet. This is my speculation based on her new contract. They just gave her a huge contract, paying her millions of dollars more a year, just working weekends. She's giving up her 5-day-a-week show, and I think they're replacing Chuck Todd with her on Meet the Press. I think it's already been decided. I think that's part of her new deal. She's replacing Chuck Todd on Meet the Press. And
usually she's off in the outer
yeah.
But she was very grounded last night and not as hysterical and unpleasant as her liberal brethren over there at MSNBC.
Yeah, Joy Reid. Joy Reid was unglued, and Nicole Wallace. This is a good day to watch a little bit of CNN and MSNBC after 9 o'clock, when we go off the air, of course.
Absolutely.
They may move on. I think they'll move on and focus on New Jersey.
Move on. They're not going to move on. No. I mean, there could be a flare-up in New Jersey because, again, that's a...
We don't know yet. Mob state. Yeah. No, I didn't either. Yeah. All right, our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. We'll take our break and be right back after this.
Brian Craig here. When it comes to auto repair, you want a garage that you can trust. Someone that will only do work on your car when your car needs work. Introducing Champagne Automotive in Boca Raton, the latest sponsor of the Steve Kane Radio Show. Tom called in on the radio to tell us about his experience with Champagne Automotive.
Hi, this is Tom from Tamarack.
Hey, Tom from Tamarack, what's up?
I just want to tell you guys something. I spent the last 2 days trying to get brakes for my car. I was leaving the house yesterday to go try another place that had a lower price. They wanted $800 for brakes. And that advertisement came on for Champagne. I live in Western Tamarack. I said, let me take a drive up there. Well, I was almost blown over how friendly, honest, old school these people are.
Old school, that's really the term that really describes it.
But let me tell you, the guy I had gone to previously won $800. He said, well, you need to change your power steering fluid. And Ed, the owner, put the car up in the lift, pulled the wheels, and said, you don't need brakes. And I about fell over.
Wow, well, tell me the end of the story. You got me hooked.
So it wasn't that your vehicle was misdiagnosed at the other place. You were dealing with a crook.
Oh, absolutely. This guy wanted to sell me everything but a washing machine. I don't want that.
Now, this is our new sponsor. We have wanted for a long time to have an auto repair shop. When it comes to auto repair, that is the most difficult category for us to find as an advertiser, because most are like this guy you were dealing with the other day over in Tamarack. They're crooks. And we found Champagne Automotive. Ed, who's the owner, is a listener of the program. They come very, very highly recommended. So I appreciate you calling in and telling us the good story. Now, Champagne Automotive, they're in Boca off Spanish River Boulevard, immediately west of Dixie Highway. The number is 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All righty. Now, I want to tell everyone about Dr. Mitch Matez over at the BioStation and hormone replacement pellet therapy, which will change your life, both men and women. Steve will tell you, if you want to look and feel like you did when you were young, call Dr. Matez at the BioStation. Hormone replacement pellet therapy, they're tiny little pellets, they're all natural, and part of the aging process is your body produces less of all these different hormones. That's what makes you look older, feel older, lose your cognitive issues, and all these other things happen to you. And what hormone replacement pellet therapy does is restore your hormone levels to where they were when you were in your mid-20s. You'll get your energy back, your sex drive back. And women, the signs and symptoms of menopause are stopped and reversed completely. Night sweats gone, mood swings gone, vaginal dryness gone and reversed. You can figure out what that means. And you get your sex drive back too, ladies. And I have met so many listeners over the years that before and after, both men and women, before and after they started hormone replacement pellet therapy with Dr. Mitch Matez. When you see these people before, they're like Joe Biden. They're walking around, oh, hey, I've been listening to you for a long time, you and Steve. And then I'll meet them after hormone replacement pellet therapy. They're standing up tall, they're straight, they look a hell of a lot younger, and they're like, hey, Brian, how you doing? And they shake my hand, and it hurts my hand, and it's amazing. Now, Dr. Mitch Matez at the BioStation, it is a completely free consultation if you mention you heard them on the Steve Kane Show. Non-Steve Kane listeners pay for this consultation. You guys get it for free. So I'm going to give you the number to call for your free consultation with Dr. Matez at the biostation. Here's the number, 561-320-8893. Now, if you're having a hard time remembering it, when you start hormone replacement pellet therapy, it also improves your memory. You'll be remembering phone numbers. Let me give it to you again. 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893. Dr. Mitch Matez at the biostation. Talk to him about hormone replacement therapy. All right, we're back. You with us, Steve? Oh, man. Oh, man. So where do we go from here? Let's go to Van Jones. Van Jones. This is Van Jones on CNN. It wasn't a good night over there either.
First of all, it's not over. You do have...
It's not over. It's not over. Yes, it is, Van. Oh, my goodness.
First of all, it's not over. You do have the grassroots folks out there fighting for this on the Democratic Party side. The stakes are high. When this election is over in Virginia, we will know. Have we seen the emergence of the Delta variant of Trumpism? The Delta variant of Trumpism. In other words, same disease, but spreads a lot faster and can get a lot more places. The suburbs, if they fall to him,
That's implying that Youngkin is more dangerous than the president. Former president.
No, more easy to spread.
Okay.
Because more easy to.
I love this.
Because if you look at what he's doing, he is playing footsie with the worst of Trumpism. He's putting himself forward as a champion of parents. This is a referendum on parents' rights. But he's not talking about, but he's using all the critical race theory, head fakes and head nods, which is a softer version of a very virulent kind of anti-black posture. And so I think this is a very big deal, because if this is a pathway, if you can flirt with Trumpism, if you can flirt with Trump and still win in the suburbs, that's a new development for us. Scott?
I'm sorry, I just have to totally disagree with virtually everything you just said.
Tell me why.
I'll tell you why. Because Democrats, since January the 6th, really since Donald Trump got elected, but let's go back to January the 6th, have demanded, asked for, begged for, pleaded for Republican candidates who would not do what you just said, which is, embrace Trumpism and sort of run the kinds of races and style that he runs. Youngkin has rejected it. He has said it was wrong. He wasn't part of it. Donald Trump hasn't been in Virginia campaigning for him. In fact, there is a pent-up demand, in my opinion, to make America boring again with standard issue, run-of-the-mill conservative Republican candidates like...
Okay, now slow down there. But you can tell with Van Jones in the beginning, I mean, that he sounds depressed and defeated. I mean, this is really... This race in Virginia is so important because their core agenda that the Democrats had was this racial division thing, and that's what cost them Virginia. And they have so many radical blacks that have taken over top positions in the party that they can't walk back the critical race theory. It's too much in the grain of the Democrat activist base that they need in the midterm elections. Yeah, how can they walk it back?
Right.
Nobody will buy it. No one will buy it. And you got the Attorney General whose family owns the textbook company that makes the critical race theory books. So there's big Democrat money in this critical race theory. Textbooks, those are big buys for the school districts of America. We got a lot of school districts. That's a lot of books. No, there's a big financial interest the Democrats have too. The Democrats are... part of the reason they're in so big trouble going into the midterm elections is they can't correct themselves after this. Like when Bill Clinton was up for re-election and he brought in... I just forgot the name of the guy. The guy that had the foot fetish, the campaign manager, that's on Newsmax all the time. I just forgot his name. Yeah, Dick Morris. Dick Morris came to Clinton, whose re-election did not look very positive because of all the girls. And what Dick Morris told Bill Clinton to do is, listen, this was after the Contract for America with Newt Gingrich and everything. Take the conservative positions and make them your own and you'll win. He changed his positions on a lot of things to go to... The Democrats of today can't do that. They have too many activists in their ranks. So they can't say, well, we lost because of critical race theory. and their radical abortion position, which was also big in this race and no one's talking about today. Let's step away from that because that cost us the election. They have too many activists in their ranks to do that, like the Squad, so they can't correct the mistake that they made in Virginia. It just can't be done. And that's good for us. We don't want them to correct it.
That's going to be at the root of the conflict between them and the Squad. The Squad now is not going to keep as low a profile as they've been keeping.
Oh, you think this will energize them to be more... They'll tell themselves they weren't vocal enough. They weren't...
Exactly right.
Oh, my goodness. They're that stupid.
Well, they're... It's not stupid. Stupid's not the problem. They're ill. They're ill and...
On The View yesterday, they said that black men are still being lynched in America today. On The View. Can you believe this? The View, they had Whoopi Goldberg there with Sonny Hostin, and they had a conservative who I've never seen before who was a guest host. Let me play a little bit of this.
Like critical race theory being taught in schools.
No, this is Whoopi Goldberg. Not Nipsey Russell. Remember Nipsey Russell? She sounds like Nipsey Russell.
Like critical race theory being taught in schools. It's not. People are out of their minds.
See, that's their new lie. Critical race theory isn't in schools.
Just be easier if everybody said, okay, we weren't teaching it and we will continue not to teach it.
Why are we even teaching that the color of the skin matters? Because to me, what matters character and your values.
Yes, but you live in the United States. You know that color of skin has been mattering to people.
Okay, now keep in mind, Whoopi Goldberg, it's a racist society. She has an Emmy, a Tony, she has a Grammy, she has every award you can get, but this is a racist country where blacks can't make it.
Can't we change it that it doesn't?
We need white people to step up and do that.
But I think that they've been doing that since the Civil War, and I'm not saying it's perfect.
No, they haven't.
What do you mean they haven't?
They have, listen, when you have a country or a state, let's talk about a state where somebody can be hung from a tree. And
where is that at? Where is it okay to hang people from trees today? I want to know because I want to stop that.
Hung.
Exactly right.
From a tree. And it's okay?
That's not okay.
Well, it was okay. It was okay in the South. People did it all the time. People would run you down.
And not that long ago.
Not that long
There
ago.
was still lynchings
they're
going on
lynching
today.
people.
See that's Sunny in the background. She says there are still lynchings going on. Now I would ask the ladies of The View to please tell us where lynching black men from trees is being allowed today, because I want to be the first. I'm sure you'll join me, Steve. We want to bring attention to this so we can stop it. But they're not sharing where these lynchings are going on. Oh my God. Do they believe that? Do they think that lynchings are still going on? Are they that far gone? They're, come on.
Are removed from reality.
That's pretty far, man. I mean, that's mental illness at that point. If they think that's still happening.
Liberalism is a mental disease.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess so. Well, listen, it's time for our last break. And when we get back from the break, it'll be time for the Gold Report with William Youngerman. And I want to tell everyone, again, Mike Lindell, he gave us our own Steve Kane MyPillow website, mypillow.com/Kane, Kane. Every item there with our promo code Kane makes a great Christmas gift, and the discounts are unbelievably low. And the MyPillow mattress topper, which I sleep on every night, you can get with our promo code Kane. You can get that mattress topper for 50% off. No matter what size mattress topper, they come in every size that mattresses come in. All right, 50% off the MyPillow mattress topper at mypillow.com/Kane with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879.
This year, I Will Advisors is here to offer you an unbiased comparison of all your Medicare health insurance options. I Will Advisors specializes in educating Medicare beneficiaries on every available option to ensure you make the right choice for your needs. Call us directly at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. The 2021 hurricane season is upon us. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for Dope.
All right, it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated right here in Boca with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. How you doing?
Great. How the metals looking?
Metals looking still in a trading range, so at the lower end of that range today, giving us a buying opportunity after gold closed of $5.80 down yesterday, closing at $17.8770 on gold. Silver was down a whopping 53 cents at $23.51. That's pretty much the low end of the range that we've seen. It's been trading about $23.50 to about a little over $24. Platinum down $29 yesterday at $1,035, and palladium closed down $42 at $1,944. Gold right now is down $11.30 at $1,776.40. Silver down 6 cents, actually down 11 cents at $23.40 the ounce, while platinum is up $2 at $1,037, and palladium is down $14 at $1,930. So gold hanging around that $1,775 to $1,900, and certainly a good buying opportunity.
No doubt about that. That's pretty awesome news because it's a great day to load up on gold and silver. Looking good. All right, now William Youngerman is located right here in Boca Raton. The address 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca Raton on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto. You can find them online at williamyoungerman.com. They open up weekdays at 10, and you can also call them at 800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. William Youngerman, have a great day. We'll talk tomorrow. All right, take care, take care. Oh man, see, this is just a great day. You know, you had complete confidence about this. I was not as confident.
I was listening to both the liberal stations as well as the Fox network, and everybody was predicting a close race. And I said, that's ridiculous. I said, this race is going to be close. It's going to be landslide. And sure enough, I was right.
Yeah.
Nice to be right.
Well, and you know, Jersey, you know, it's they're less than 2,000 votes apart. The Democrats ahead is an incumbent, right? So I'm going to say the Democrats are going to pull that one through. Typically, who's ever in front at the beginning is going to win it, and plus he's an incumbent, and it's, you know, it's New Jersey. But that's the way it is. I think Virginia is the greatest we could have hoped for. I mean, Steve, we flipped a solid blue state where we had two Democrat presidents and the sitting vice president campaigning against us. Youngkin was not really a well-known guy until a few weeks ago.
But win or lose, it was an amazing upset in Jersey. The incumbent figured to be a heavy favorite.
Yeah.
And he almost pulled it out. It's basically a repudiation of the liberal, democratic, Biden-type thinking that we've been living under that people are fed up with.
Yeah.
tired of looking at these pictures of the borders and seeing, 3,000 people, 4,000 people charging over here to sign up for welfare. And Americans are just fed up. We're patient to a point, but enough is enough already.
Yeah, and there's no chance that they're going to back down from what they're doing.
It's with a fraction of the spending, that's there now.
The last time, oh yeah. Well, and what they're going to come up with something. You're right, but it's going to be what do they always say? A very, very watered down version of what they promised their donors, and they're going to have a hard time with their donors in the midterms when they didn't come through on this. They're not going to be so willing to open up the checkbooks.
And by the way, all these mistakes Biden has made are not going to go away. Every day it's going to be something about either the foreign affairs, or it's going to be something about the refugees at the border, or all these issues, and the inflation. That's really going to be running.
Oh.
And it's all bad news for the Democrats.
And this is really bad because for the Democrats, because we're a couple of weeks away from Thanksgiving, when families get together that see each other once a year, and what they're going to be talking about is how much more the Thanksgiving turkey costs this year than last year. That's not good for the Democrats either. Oh, yeah. Yeah. My mother-in-law bought a turkey like 3 weeks ago because they're going to be going up by the end of the year. Now, we just have a little bit of time left, and I am surprised at the feedback. People are shocked to find that you're a Christian, Steve, because they just assume you're a Jew, a Christian. And, we just got a moment or two left, but you became a Christian, oh my goodness, 15 years ago now? Maybe longer? Oh, yeah. Bob Coy left the church over 5 years ago, believe it or not. And I'm sure I get reports of sightings of Pastor Bob Coy all the time, and I would love for him to come in on the show. I know you would too. He used to fill in for you, Pastor Bob Coy, and we'd love to have him here. There's this thing that Christians are supposed to be saints. We're all sinners, right? There's only one man who wasn't a sinner, right? The rest of us are. That's the way it is. But when you became a Christian, oh man, that was people were pretty angry in the audience. For the good. When we were talking the other day about Steve's serial killer art, as crazy as that was, the most controversial thing I believe that upset people in the audience more than anything is when you became a Christian. That the serial killer art, all that other stuff you used to do and promote, there was. When you became a Christian, that's when people really were like, whoa. And I remember there were callers that would call in and tell you you're not a Jew anymore, and I don't remember them calling in telling you weren't a Jew when you were peddling serial killer artwork. But when you became a Christian, all of a sudden you weren't a Jew.
Well, I find
Steve Kane Show.
Even though I don't go to church on a regular
Hey, Janet.
basis as I used to, my thinking, for example, this thing this uproar we're having with the Democrats now, and
Yeah.
all that, is a good example of it. I said from the beginning, when everyone was in shock a year ago, I said, just sit back. It's going to be worse before it gets better. Trust in the Lord.
That's right. No. That's right.
Helps.
No doubt. No doubt about that. I'll tell you what else works. Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what else works. That, of course, are the nutraceuticals available at AJ's Natural at the Festival Marketplace. We have Janet Cimarelli with the Health Report. Janet Cimarelli, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. Hi, Steve. I just want to tell people if they are taking two medications for blood pressure, lisinopril and losartan, they need to read the instructions with regard to what they get from the pharmacy, because those two medications may have an impact on their kidney function. And I just wanted to tell them they can bring their blood tests into me, and I can take a look at the whole profile of blood test results.
Thank you,
with
DVC.
regard to kidney function. And I have so many different natural substances to recommend just for protecting your kidneys. Your kidneys are very, very much involved with what your blood pressure stability might be. If you're going too high, too low, you're spiking, you're bottoming out, those two medications meant to keep your blood pressure stable, but they also have that negative potential impact on your kidneys and your urinary tract. So bring your blood test in to see me. I'm at AJ's Natural Market and at the Festival Marketplace. And call for an appointment, 954-317-1851. And don't forget, I have my show, Health Matters, on Tuesdays and Fridays at 10 o'clock right here on this station. So many people have been stopping by AJ's Natural Wellness Shop, and they heard me on the Steve Kane Show. How about that?
Yeah, people listen to us. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm actually getting some blood work done at Any Lab Test Now of Boca at the end of the week, and I'm gonna come by with my blood work next week and have you look over it with me, Janet, because I've got some issues I need to work out, and nutraceuticals are always where I find a solution. Now, we're almost out of time, so let me tell everybody where AJ's is. Now, the Festival Marketplace, formerly known as the Festival Flea Market, everyone knows that place, immediately east of the Florida Turnpike on the south side of Sample Road in Pompano. And AJ's Natural is very easy to find. Right across and next to the food court, right in the center of the Festival Marketplace, right next to the information booth. You can't miss it. And what are your hours over there, Janet?
Day 10 to 5 and weekends 10 to 6, so come on in.
All right, and you can, of course, call 954-317-1851. All right, Janet, we'll talk tomorrow. Steve, we're all out of time, so we got literally 10 seconds to say goodbye.
Well, that's enough time. On behalf of our technical director, Tyler Kane, my partner, Brian Craig, and co-host, and of course, you know me, I'm Steve. See you tomorrow, 6 a.m. God bless America.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
All right. Well, guys, make sure you like the video. If you're new here, please subscribe. You'll enjoy this show, I promise you. Now, the video before this is my podcast from last night where I interviewed President Trump's Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, yesterday. And he tells me at the end of that interview he was going to talk to President Trump about me. You'll get to hear that at the end of the interview. I was so excited. So, guys, I got to take off. Going to eat my donuts. Did you all get to see the donuts? Let me show you again. This, by the way, the donut shop is minidonutworld.com. minidonutworld.com. And these are like the best looking donut. I like that the ones I'm going to eat first are with the ones with the Cocoa Pebbles on them. I love Cocoa Pebbles. Do those look great? Yeah. minidonutworld.com. He's a big fan of the show. So you guys check him out and order some donuts from him. Those look great. I know. They smell so good, too. All right. Those are for me, though. Hey, guys. I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. If I can get the feed. There's the button to stop. Oh, my goodness. It won't let me